Hey there, this is Travis Wright. In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to create a new configuration item class. The scenario for this example will be that we want to start tracking a customer configuration item. So to do that, we go to File, New to create a new management pack. We'll call this Customer Library. Save this. And this will now bring up the new management pack over here in the Management Pack Explorer. You can see that we have nodes for classes, forms, and workflows, but we don't have any of those yet. So what we'll do is right-click on classes and say Create Configuration Item Class. This will derive our new class, customer class, from the configuration item base class. So we'll name our class Customer, and this will bring up the class editor. You can see down here that it provides a default key property for us because we don't inherit a key property. And you can see that we inherit all of these properties and relationships from the configuration item class. So we could use any of those that we want to do, but let's go ahead and delete this key property here that was provided to us. And this is just a warning that we at this point have no key property, which is fine because we're going to create one now. So we'll call this the customer ID as the key property. And we'll go over here and change this to be an auto-incrementing ID with a default value of open curly brace 0 close curly brace, which is a special token that tells Service Manager to automatically increment that particular value. We'll change the display name of this property to customer ID with a space. And down here we'll change the key property to true. So this is now our key property for this particular class. You can see that there's some other options here that we could change about this property. Next, let's add a customer name property. And here we can change the display name again to have a space. And some other options that we could change here, but in this case, everything's fine. So we'll create also a customer, well, let's call it contract start date. And in this particular case, we'll create a datetime property. And change the display again. And let's add maybe one more property. Let's add a customer type property. And we'll make this an enum data type property, or list is the option here in the data type. And here we can choose from existing lists, or we can create a new one. In this case, we'll create a new one. We'll call this customer type, and the display name for this will be customer space type. Okay, and we'll click OK now. You can see that we have a new list type down here that's associated with this particular property. Once we import this management pack into the Service Manager, we can change the values. We can add some values that people can pick. Okay, at this point we have created our new class. Obviously, could go on and add additional properties, but this will be good enough for now. So now let's go ahead and just save this management pack, and let's import it into Service Manager. So we'll go here to the Management Packs view and choose Import, choose our management pack, and import it. This has now extended the database schema to allow us to store customer objects. Let's just refresh the console here so we get the latest information. Now if we go up here to configuration items and right click and choose create folder, and create a new folder called customer, and call it customer information. And down here we should put this in our customer library management pack. And then we can go up here, right click on customer information, and choose to create a new view. We'll call this all customers. down here to criteria, and here we want to choose, instead of the configuration item class, we want to choose our customer class. There we go. Now if we wanted to, we could use the properties that we defined, like customer ID, customer name, contract start date, etc., as criteria in the view. And we can also use them as columns to display in the view. So let's choose to display customer ID and customer name and customer type. Okay. So at this point we have a customer's view now. If we go to the customer's view, we'll see that we indeed have no customers yet. And we can click on Create Customer, and this will bring up what we call the generic form. And the generic form just takes all of the properties that are associated with this class and displays them in a consistent layout. So you can see here that we could provide the display name, maybe Acme Company, and we could set the asset status. These are all inherited properties. Remember, we didn't actually define these are just inherited because it's part of the configuration item. And you can see here that we've got a customer ID value of 6 that was pre-populated for us, and you can see that it's marked as required because it's a key property. And here we could fill in the customer name, contract start date, and well, we don't have any customer types defined yet. And then over here on related items tab and the history, we get all this stuff for free. Okay, so we can go ahead and save that now. And now we have a new customer record that was created. Now let me show you real quick how to edit the customer type list item. So you can go here to lists and find the customer type list. Go to properties, choose to add an item here, and let's call this I don't know, gold customer, and add another one here for silver. Okay. So now if we go back to configuration items, and we open up this customer record. So now that we've got the customer record open, we can now see that we got gold and silver options here, and we can save that. And you can see down the customer type is gold. Okay, so that's great using the generic form, but now what if we wanted to use maybe a custom form? Let's go back here now to management packs, and we're going to delete this management pack. And this will delete the view and the list item options and the folder that we created. It'll all be gone. So let's just go back here now to our management pack, our original management pack. And what we'll do is we'll right click on this forms node here and we'll say create. So this is going to allow us to create a new custom form for our customer class. So we'll filter it down to the customer class and choose that. And give it a different name. What this does is it brings up a blank slate for us to add our controls onto. So let's drag out a label control here. Maybe resize it a bit and change the content to say customer name. And then we can drag out a text box control. There we go. And I'm going to spend a lot of time doing a lot of fancy layout stuff here, but you get the idea. What we want to do here is go ahead and bind this to the customer name property, like that. And let's also drag out another label for, in this case, customer type. Okay, and resize this a bit. Sorry, it's going to be kind of an ugly form. I'm just trying to go quickly here. Then we'll grab a list picker control and drag that out here. And I'm going to bind this to our customer type property. And then we're going to grab another label and drag that out here. resize this, and we'll call this contract start date, and we'll grab a date picker control, and guess what? We'll bind it to, you guessed it, our contract start date property. Okay, and then last, let's put the ID field on the form here. Now, because the ID is something that we don't want people editing, we'll just display it as a label. Let's drop an additional label control on there. Okay, and we'll bind this to the customer ID field. Okay, there we go. So now we've got our form defined. It's part of our management pack. It's all just in one MP at this point, so we'll go ahead and go into management packs again and import our management pack. Okay, and again we'll close and reopen the console so we have all the latest information in the cache. Okay, so let's go again to library and add a couple list options. Okay, and now if we go to configuration items again, we'll create a new folder. Call it customer information, put that in our customer management pack, and then right click on customer information folder when it's ready here, and we'll create a view of customers just as we did before. Now we'll go to our customer view and we'll try to create a customer, but this time we'll be using our new custom form. There you go. There's our custom form. We can say Acme again. You can see that customer type gets populated there, contract start date, and so on. So there you have it. It's very easy to create new configuration item classes, to import those in, and then just to either take advantage of the generic form if you don't want to mess around with creating a custom form, or if you want to, you can create a custom form to display the data in a more optimized way. Thanks for watching.